Hello Camerata, this is a video where we're going to work a little bit on our minuet. I know you all have the recordings, but again, I hope you're playing with them. This video is so that we can work on very specific measures that need some attention. So one of the first things I want to talk about is our hooked bows. I want to make sure that you are putting a space between the notes. And the other thing I want to talk about is our bow distribution. So we are in a time signature of 3/4, and we have a half note and a quarter note in the first two measures. So what needs to happen is we're going to start up bow, right? And it's only a quarter note, so we don't need to start at the tip. Remember, we're going up bow, but we can start pretty much at the middle for a quarter note. And then we have a half note, which means you're probably going to use pretty much all your bow. But then you have a quarter note, and it's very important that you go all the way back to where you started. Otherwise, we're going to be running out of bow. See, this is the common mistake, is we go up, and then we don't use enough bow to go back, and then we're out of bow, right? So we want to make sure that we use a lot of bow on the down bow half note, but on the quarter note, we use just as much bow so that we can have a lot of bow again for the second measure. Now, just because we need to use a lot of bow on that quarter note doesn't mean I'm going to put an ugly accent. So you have to make sure that you release a little bit of the weight. You need a little bit of speed, but release the weight so that we don't get an accent. All right, so let's do it together. Ready? 1, 2. Hooked bow. Hooked bow. Now, this is another measure where I want you to pay attention. Measure 9, that rhythm, that dotted quarter note with an eighth note. Sometimes we miss the counting. So remember, how do we count that? It's 1, 2, and 3, and, right? So make sure you hold that A for 1.5 beats, but no more and no less. And so measure 9 should be 1, 2, and 3, and 1, right? Can we just do measure 9 together one time? Ready? 2, 3. Right? Let's do it one more time while I count. Ready? And 1, 2, and 3, and 1. All right, so make sure you practice that measure a lot. All right? After that, what I was talking about at the beginning of the piece is just as important for measure 11 and going on. You have this whole section of half notes with quarter notes. So it's very important that on the up bow, you go back to where you started. Can we start on the pick up to measure 11? Here we go. So start up bow on that D. 1, 2. Go back. Go back softly. Same rhythm. 1, 2, and 3, and 1. There's a retake, and it's a forte, so put some weight on your bow now, and got it? So make sure you practice those rhythms, those dotted rhythms. When you're playing them, always be counting 1, 2, and 3 and 1. When you have hooked bows, make sure that you're giving each note the same amount of bow and putting a space between the notes. And when you have a half note with a quarter note, make sure that you're always coming back and that you're not running out of bow by doing this. All right, those are the things to watch out in minuet if you have the melody part.